Okay, we're live, guys. Hey,
We're live. Doing a live.
I am doing a live. I'm doing a live.
welcome back to part 2 of this Elon Musk article I'm obsessed with. We're gonna get into it.
If you haven't seen part 1, go watch that.
Go watch it or listen to it more like.
Yeah, true.
It's just us reading, so.
And our video stopped partway through.
Oh yeah, the camera stopped working.
Taking us back to what podcasts were meant to be, which is an audio only format.
It really is a beautiful homage.
An homage
to podcasting.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, we're doing part 2.
And you're listening to
Strumpet Radio Hour.
The podcast for strumpets,
Trollops,
and tarts worldwide. I'm Bean.
And I'm Susie. Roll intro.
Roll intro. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay, before we dive in, just one thing. This photo that was the cover photo of the last one of Elon. I can't believe that I forgot who the other guy is. It's Peter Thiel.
Oh, wow.
I completely forgot that they go way back.
Look at them.
These are the two dudes who are single-handedly crumbling democracy. Isn't that incredible?
And they look so stupid.
No, they're so dumb. Yeah. Peter Thiel famously took down Gawker basically as well.
Amazing.
Because they outed him as gay.
Amazing work.
Anyway, shall we just dive in?
I say we jump right in.
Cool.
Because I can't remember. I can't give a synopsis. I don't know.
No, just watch the last one, guys.
Just watch it.
There's no synopsis anyway. It's just a funny article.
Watch it.
After Musk became successful, his father even took credit for helping him, to such a degree that it's listed as fact in Elon's Wikipedia entry. Quote, "One thing he claims is he gave us a whole bunch of money to start, my brother and I, to start up our first company, Zip2, which provided online city guides to newspapers. This is not true," Musk says. "He was irrelevant. He paid nothing for college. My brother and I paid for college through scholarships, loans, and working 2 jobs simultaneously. The funding we raised for our first company came from a small group of random angel investors in Silicon Valley."
What's an angel investor?
That's someone who invests a lot of money into a brand new startup. Okay. It's basically they're taking a huge risk.
And so there's probably some connection there previously from something else.
Yeah, I tried to look into this claim that his dad didn't give him any money, and it's hotly contested. It seems that there's no proof because his dad Errol swears that he did, and Elon swears that he didn't, and they both have motivations to do that. So Musk's career history decorates his desk. There's an item from nearly all of his companies, even a mug for X.com. Rest in peace. Ooh. The early online bank he started, which became PayPal. The sale of Zip2 resulted in a $22 million check made out directly to Musk, which he used in part to start X.com, which did not succeed. With the roughly $180 million post-tax amount he made from the sale of PayPal, he started SpaceX with $100 million, put $70 million into Tesla, invested $10 million into Solar City, and saved little for himself.
Oh, wow, he's so brave for that.
Where did that all come from? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Business Bean.
Here, you can read this next part. I think it's juicy.
One of the misunderstandings that rankles Musk most is being pigeonholed and narrowcast, whether as the real-life Tony Stark or the second coming of Steve Jobs.
He's like, I hate when people call me.
I hate when people say I'm a sexy superhero or a really smart, savvy tech guy.
It's so embarrassing.
Oh my god. That is what I say when I wear a turtleneck. I'm I hate when people pigeonhole me.
That's a good point. As the second coming.
Of Steve Jobs. When at a photo shoot, he was asked to wear a black turtleneck, the trademark garb of Jobs. He bristled. "If I was dying and I had a turtleneck on," he tells me, "with my last dying breath, I would take the turtleneck off and try to throw it as far away from my body as possible." What?
I everything he says, I'm just like, what?
What
Does this mean? Why?
So you don't want to wear the turtleneck? Like,
yeah.
I don't.
He's like,
but it says he was asked to wear one, and he's like, I would never do. Okay.
he said, if I was dying, my last breath would be to take the turtleneck off.
I mean, okay.
I guess he doesn't like I don't know. I'm actually in a bit of a turtleneck era, so I can't relate.
I've been a fan of a turtleneck for like 6 or 7 years, and I'm like, they just look good on everyone.
They look good on everyone.
But it tracks that he wouldn't like something that looks good on everyone.
That's true.
Because he's ugly.
Yeah. He's an uggo.
You know how they say, like, money can't buy taste?
He's really
like
can't. Oh my god, he's the best example.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the hats he's been wearing. Oh, dude, every time he wears a hat, I'm just like, don't do that. Don't wear a hat.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
There's no hat that looks good on him.
Okay, so what is Musk about? Quote, I try to do useful things, he explains. That's a nice aspiration. And useful means it is of value to the rest of society. Are they useful things that work and make people's lives better, make the future seem better, and actually are better too? I think we should try to make the future better.
Well said.
My God.
I did write down here that, like, the emotionally neglected kid wanting to be useful is so, like...
Ooh, yeah.
And because, you know, everything he says sounds like a child, like an abandoned child is saying it. So he's like, I just want to be useful to society.
I need to make everything better.
What happened to that, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, like, so bleak.
Yeah.
You know, I want to try to make the future better.
Well, you
And
did.
It's like, okay, so that means genociding everyone.
Genociding people, getting rid of the government,
right?
Democracy.
Getting rid of any regulation that makes the air clean.
I will say that's probably useful to him.
Yeah. But to society?
To society, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Hot take. Should I keep going with this next one?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. When asked to define better, Musk elaborates, it would be better if we mitigated the effects of global warming and had cleaner air in our cities and weren't drilling for vast amounts of coal, oil, and gas in parts of the world that are problematic and will run out anyway. Wow.
Sure.
Wow. Okay. Quote, and if we were a multiplanetary species.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was really exciting. That would reduce the possibility of some single event, man-made or natural, taking out civilization as we know it, as it did to the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs had a long-ass run.
They did.
They literally, like, we haven't even scratched the length of time the dinosaurs were on Earth.
But he doesn't know that.
Right, you're right.
Like,
he doesn't actually know anything.
He has, like, the science knowledge of, like, a kid who goes to the Pacific Science Center a lot, you know? Like, it's like, yeah, he knows.
But I feel like you wouldn't know the dinosaur, because I'm just like, it's so funny to be like, I don't want to get wiped out like the dinosaurs. They actually, it's like,
you know,
okay, whatever. Hey. I'm moving on. Okay. As it is dinosaurs. There have been 5 mass extinction events in the fossil record. People have no comprehension of these things. Unless you're a cockroach or a mushroom or a sponge, you're fucked. He laughed sharply. Ha! It's insurance of life as we know it and makes the future far more inspiring. If we are out there among the stars and you could move to another planet if you wanted to.
There's nothing to say that hasn't been said, but the idea of, like, the solution to global warming being we just move to a different planet.
So we actually just gonna leave this one.
Insane. Also not happening in anyone's lifetime. Like,
I know, because he's speaking about it as if it's like something he's gonna see.
He's like 12 to 18 months.
Yeah,
you know?
we're gonna be inhabiting.
We'll be on Mars.
Also, that it like would be enjoyable, because like, okay, maybe we can set up a station on Mars, but you know what that means? We got to be in like a dome.
Who's gonna live there
with air? Yeah.
It's just absurd. It's like it's absurd. It's always been absurd. This then is the ideology of Musk, and though basic, it's actually very rare. I don't think so. You're right that it is basic. It means nothing.
Right.
Think of the other names that one associates with innovation this century. They're people who built operating systems, devices, websites, or social media platforms.
Talking about Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg? Is that what you mean?
Probably, yeah. Even when it didn't start out that way, the ideology in most cases soon became, how can I make my company the center of my users' world? Consequently, social media sites like Facebook and Twitter use a number of tricks to activate the addictive reward centers of a user's brain. If he only knew what was coming.
If he only knew. Wow.
It's crazy, because even now, in this era of tech optimism, people are getting sick of social media, I
They
guess.
hate it. Yeah.
If Musk's employees suggested doing something like this, he'd probably look at them like they were crazy. This type of thinking doesn't compute. Quote, it's really inconsistent to not be the way you want the world to be, he says flatly. And then through some means of trickery operate according to one moral code while the rest of the world operates according to a different one? This is obviously not something that works. If everyone's trying to trick everyone all the time, it's a lot of noise and confusion. It's better just to be straightforward and to try to do useful things. Let me keep going. This gets somewhere. He discusses building a permanent moon base and further funding SpaceX by creating passenger rockets capable of traveling to any city in the world in less than an hour.
Sure.
A form of transport he calls Earth to Earth. Incredible.
So a train, dumbass?
What high-speed rail? No. Earth to Earth. I ask if there's anything that he believes works that surprises people. Quote, I think being precise about the truth works. Truthful and precise. I try to tell people, you don't have to read between the lines with me. I'm saying the lines. And so then I just think of him doing the Nazi salute.
Right, I just keep I'm like, okay.
It's like he told us, there's no lines to read between. He's straightforward
So yeah.
and he's truthful.
Okay, so yeah, you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
And you know what we should be doing with Nazis?
Sending them to Mars by
Sending
themselves.
them to Mars with no spacesuit.
That'd be horrible if, like, they end up, making a Nazi civilization on
It's okay.
Mars.
They don't have air up there.
It's like Australia, but with Nazis instead of prisoners.
Well, then we have a planet to battle. That's kind of fun.
That is fun, you know?
Yeah.
That might unite us.
That's what finally gets, like, Earth peace.
Dude.
Is fighting the Nazis on Mars.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a good idea.
Wait a minute.
Send all the Nazis. You know, if you want to be Nazis, it's like, okay, you can do that.
Go do that on your own
Mars.
planet. Yeah.
And then in a few thousand years, we'll be battling.
Yeah, we're battling it out.
If you guys survive, which is
If
unlikely.
you survive, yeah.
Okay, you can take it from on another occasion.
Okay. On another occasion, I watched Musk at a weekly SpaceX engineering team meeting where 8 experts sit around the table in high-backed red chairs, showing Musk a PowerPoint with the latest updates to the Mars spaceship design. And while Musk keeps pace on technical details with some of the most brilliant minds in aerospace,
Prove it.
he also adds, yeah, you're right, good point. He also adds an element that goes beyond logistics and engineering. Sorry, Brennan, did you want to get out of here? Okay. Quote, make sure it doesn't look ugly or something. Or something.
Make sure it doesn't look... That's what he adds.
Oh, my God. Quote, he advises at one point. Then later... Quote, the aesthetics of this one are not so great. It looks like a scared lizard. Quote, or end quote. And in a characteristically wry moment, quote, when you land on Mars, you want the list of what you have to worry about to be small enough that you're not dead. Okay.
To me, this is just so obviously, actually, let's just get through this part because there's more.
Overall, there's a theme to Musk's feedback. First, things have to be useful, logical, and scientifically possible.
Like colonizing Mars?
Yeah, okay. Then he looks to improve efficiency on every level. What are people accepting as an industry standard when there's room for significant improvement?
Efficiency.
From there, Musk pushes for the end product to be aesthetically beautiful. Thinking of the Cybertruck, simple, cool, sleek. In parentheses, quotes, he hates seams, says one staffer. And as Musk puts it at one point in the meeting, awesome.
So, the way that Neil here is presenting it is, we have one sentence where he says, no, he's keeping up with these scientific
keeping up with
experts.
the top minds.
And then everything that he quotes him saying is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
It's like me when I don't know what's going on, and I'm like,
No, literally at a business meeting, I'm like, well, we gotta make sure it's not ugly.
right, yeah, that's really important, and we need the list of things to worry about to be small.
We want to not die in the process.
We need to eliminate the possible negative outcomes.
It needs to be awesome. Like, are you serious? Be serious right now.
Like, it's just that, I mean, keep saying it, but like in hindsight,
In hindsight,
why did we eat the? Why did
why?
we all fall for it?
We slurped it up.
We're so stupid. Oh my god.
Throughout this process, there's an additional element that very few companies indulge in: personalization. This usually involves Musk adding Easter eggs and personal references to the products, such as making the Tesla sound system volume go to 11.
Oh, good homage.
In homage to Spinal Tap, or sending a secret payload into space in his first Dragon launch that turned out to be a wheel of cheese in homage to Monty Python. That's so epic, dude.
That's fucking epic.
These
and
things are
awesome.
so epic and awesome. Beyond all of this, most maddening or exciting for Musk's employees, depending on which one you ask, is the time scale on which he often expects work to be done. For example, one Friday when I was visiting, a few SpaceX staff members were frantically rushing back and forth from the office to the parking lot across the street. It turns out that during a meeting, he asked them how long it would take to remove staff cars from the lot and start digging the first hole for the Boring Company tunnel. The answer? 2 weeks. Musk asked why, and when he gathered the necessary information, he concluded, "Let's get started today and see what the biggest hole we can dig between now and Sunday afternoon, running 24 hours a day." Within 3 hours, the cars were gone and there was a hole in the ground. So,
Oh my god.
can you imagine working for this
No,
man?
I would quit on site because you know what? I have self-esteem.
Dude, and I know it's because this reporter's there.
Yeah,
He's like,
you're right. You're right.
Everyone move here. We're digging. We're gonna dig a hole.
We're gonna dig a hole for 24 hours.
There's a
straight.
really cool guy here, and I need to dig a hole so that he likes me. When he sees how big the hole I dig can be. And that never went anywhere either, as far as I know.
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean,
I didn't fact check that, but I'm pretty sure it didn't go anywhere.
I remember there's a tunnel that was bad. Like the design was awful.
Yeah, like it
unsafe.
was a death trap.
Yeah. So good job, Elon.
On the other hand, I'll read this one and then.
Yeah.
On the other hand, one thing Musk is notorious for is setting ambitious deadlines that he often can't meet. The Roadster.
This girl over
Hey,
here.
that's me. That's me. At least I don't have billions of dollars. Why don't I can dig holes and be
No, yeah,
late
you
to things.
can.
Oh my god.
You can.
The Roadster, the Model S, and the Model X were all delayed from his original timeline, and now the Model 3, with its nearly 500,000 person long waiting list, is experiencing its own production delays. There are many reasons for this, but Musk summarizes, quote, "Better to do something good and be late than bad and be early. So expect Musk to get it done, just not on time. Because if he can't do it, he won't pretend otherwise."
Are you sure about
That's
that?
the biggest lie in this article.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
He was just talking about colonizing Mars as a solution to global warming.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Oh my.
Alright. Okay. This shit is amazing. It's amazing.
Quote, "I expect to lose." Wow, okay. Musk says.
I hope you do.
Yeah, I hope that's true. He's in a 3-story building in San Francisco that has only recently been furnished. It used to belong to Stripe, the credit card payment processor,
Damn.
but now belongs to Musk, who's housing 2 of his companies there, Neuralink and OpenAI.
Didn't OpenAI just buy X?
I think so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
These are visions of what Tesla or SpaceX may have looked like when they first began. Small group of excited people working with limited resources to hit a distant, ambitious target. But unlike Tesla and SpaceX, there aren't anything close to roadmaps towards these goals, nor are they so clear-cut. OpenAI is a non-profit dedicated to minimizing the dangers of artificial intelligence, while Neuralink is working on ways to implant technology into our brains to create mind-computer interfaces.
I was listening to the Behind the Bastards episode
Yeah.
on him because they also talk about this article, which
Ooh.
made me feel very I don't know, good. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But they were saying that like his nonprofits, I mean, as you would expect, like essentially just like donate to his own
Oh, sure,
projects
right,
and
yeah.
like no, they're not actually doing a lot of meaningful charity.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
if it sounds like those are contradictory ideas, think again. Neuralink allows our brains to keep up in the intelligence race. The machines can't outsmart us if we have everything the machines have.
Put a machine inside of
Plus,
me. They can't outsmart me. Me swallowing my cell phone.
me eating batteries.
when I can't remember my computer password. Okay, then I'll fucking outsmart you.
We put machines in us, then they won't outsmart us. Yeah, you know, it's a good idea. It's a great idea.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
No,
continue.
please. At least that is if you assume that what we have is actually an advantage, I guess, in comparison to machines.
Okay.
It's an unusual day at the office. Actually, you can start. Here.
Okay.
I think it's a new thing.
It's an unusual day at the office. Musk is showing a documentary about artificial intelligence to the Neuralink staff. He stands in front of them as they sit splayed on couches and chairs and lays out the grim odds of his mission to make AI safe. Quote, maybe there's a 5 to 10% chance of success, he says.
So he's making his employees all stop working and watch a documentary because the reporter's here.
Also, like, we don't know what the documentary is.
No, he never says. I'm so curious.
I know. I'm like, it's gotta be just some weird YouTube video. Like, it can't be a real documentary. The challenge he's up against with OpenAI is twofold. First, the problem with building something that's smarter than you is ... that it's smarter than you.
Well, it's not too hard for Elon.
No. Add to that the fact that AI has no remorse, no morality, no emotions. Hey, sounds like someone I
Hey,
know.
once again.
Yeah, sounds like some guy you've been interviewing for a couple fucking weeks.
Months.
Sorry, months. And humanity may be in deep shit. True.
Mm.
This is the good son's second chance against a remorseless father he couldn't change.
Jesus Christ,
No.
Neil.
My God.
Relax.
Okay, do you want to take it over?
Sure. The other challenge is that OpenAI is a non-profit, unquote. And if it's competing with the immense resources of Google's DeepMind, and it's competing with the immense resources of Google's DeepMind, Musk tells the group he in fact invested in DeepMind with the intention of keeping a watchful eye on Google AI's development. He's like, yeah, I invested in this company that's better than us, but just to like
Just so
keep
I can
an eye
watch
on
them. Not so I have like a backup plan for when this tanks.
not so that I get rich no matter what.
Yeah.
And you guys don't. Oh.
Oh my God.
Quote, between Facebook, Google, and Amazon, and arguably Apple, but they seem to care about privacy, they have more information about you than you can remember, he elaborates to me. There's a lot of risk and concentration of power.
Is there?
Prophetic.
Is there, Elon?
So if AGI, artificial general intelligence, represents an extreme level of power, should that be controlled by a few people at Google with no oversight? No,
No
it should
oversight?
be it should be controlled by a few people at X.com.
Yeah, I know.
With
That's
no
true.
oversight.
That is so true.
Okay, this is my favorite part. Sleep well, Musk jokes when the movie ends. He then leads a discussion about it, writing down some ideas and bluntly dismissing others. As he's speaking, he reaches into a bowl, grabs a piece of popcorn, drops it in his mouth, and starts coughing.
I wish I could see
The fact that Neil included this.
It's so good that it
It's
paints
so
such
funny.
a good picture.
You can just imagine him being like, that's a stupid idea. That's a good idea.
Literally.
Crazy.
Literally. Imagine like this guy is your boss.
Oh my God. The thing is, it's not hard to imagine.
no,
Like,
right,
there are
'cause
so many bosses
We all
like
have
this.
stupid bosses.
They're
Like,
just,
we've
they're
all been
dumb.
there.
They
Oh my
think they have like an inflated ego.
Yeah, they think they're
Out of
genius.
touch. It's incredible. I'm so glad that he kept that sentence in the article.
My God. Start coughing.
and starts coughing.
Oh my god.
Quote, "We're talking about threats to humanity," he mutters, "and I'm going to choke to death on popcorn." So, great.
Nice save,
Good
Elon.
save, Elon. Yup. We're nearing the end. We're so close. You can take it
Okay.
from here.
It is 9 p.m. on a Thursday night, and I'm waiting in the foyer of Musk's Bel Air home for our final interview. He walks down the stairs a few minutes later, wearing a t-shirt depicting Mickey Mouse in space.
Of course, he's a Disney adult.
A tall blonde woman follows him down the stairs. He is, true to his words, not alone. The woman, it turns out, is Tallulah Riley, his second wife. They met in 2008, and Musk proposed after 10 days together.
Nightmare.
They married in 2010, then divorced 2 years later, then remarried the following year, then filed for divorce again. Then withdrew the filing, then refiled for divorce, and finally followed through with it.
And now I guess they're hooking up again.
Stellar work, you guys. Stellar work. Musk suggests doing something rare for him, drinking. My alcohol tolerance is not very high, he says, but I tend to be a fuzzy bear when I drink. I go happy fuzzy.
I go happy fuzzy.
Oh my god, he sounds like the most annoying people you meet at a party.
I just cannot believe how apt what you said, where it's like if you took everyone's like worst ex
Oh yeah.
and put them into one guy.
No, like
It's this guy,
That's
especially
this guy.
because like not in this article, but from like interviews with employees and even his daughter, people talk about how he's constantly like screaming at people, like incredibly abusive. So it's like every worst ex,
No,
all
truly,
of them, all of
truly.
them, they're in one guy.
Oh my god.
He
I go happy fuzzy.
I go happy fuzzy and I scream less. He pours 2 glasses of whiskey for us, and the 3 of us adjourn to his living room, where there's a mechanical Edison phonograph, an Enigma machine, and a shortwave radio from World War I on display. That was close.
Yeah, very close.
During the interview, Tallulah Riley lounges on the couch nearby, half paying attention to the conversation, half paying attention to her phone. Musk is in a different mood than he was at SpaceX, and that's something that those who've come to know Musk observe. One moment, he may be reciting favorite lines from an animated TV show he just saw. The next, he may be curtly giving detailed instructions. The next, he may be ignoring you while lost in a thought. In one thought, I love that.
Yeah, he has one.
He's got lost in his one thought. The next, he may be asking for your advice on a problem. The next, he may be breathless with laughter while riffing on a humorous tangent for 5 minutes. And the next, he may be acting as if you've both never met.
Okay.
And through it all, you learn not to take it personally because chances are it has nothing to do with you. It's crazy. The whole article is just describing a maniac.
No, yeah.
Just someone who's emotionally stunted, unintelligent, cruel.
Yeah.
And we're all like, man, he's quirky.
He's so quirky and he's like a genius.
He's not like other billionaires.
No, he's different.
He's like cool. He likes.
Well, he's gonna save the world.
He's gonna save
gonna
the
save
world. All right, take it away.
All right. We start off talking, or at least with me trying to talk about AI, because a few weeks earlier, Musk had tweeted, quote, "Competition for AI superiority at national level most likely cause of World War III IMO." But when I ask him about that, Musk gets testy. I don't have all the answers. I'm not saying that I have all the fucking answers. Let me be really clear about that. I'm trying to figure out the set of actions I can take that are more likely to result in a good future. If you have suggestions in that regard, please tell me what they are.
Riley chimes in. I think just the way it gets couched is that Elon Musk says we're all gonna die, as opposed to, hey, let's have some regulation.
Regulation?
Elon Musk, famously pro-regulation.
Regulation?
Sorry, I didn't let you read.
No,
very
no,
much.
I thought that was a good.
Okay.
butt-in moment. That was good.
Good. Musk, it soon became clear, is not in the mood to talk about his work. Instead, he has some advice he'd like to offer to the world from his personal experience. Quote, "I find one learns lessons in the course of life," he begins with a wry half smile. "And one lesson I've learned is, don't tweet on Ambien." That's on the record. Tweeting on Ambien is unwise. You may regret it. So I don't know, man. Are you just on Ambien all the time?
I think, you know what? It could explain a lot. If like he was taking Ambien, like not just to sleep, just every day.
Yeah. Dude. Okay, I love this part. Musk grabs a coffee table book published by The Onion and starts leafing through it, laughing hysterically. Quote, in order to understand the essential truth of things, he theorizes, I think you can find it in The Onion and occasionally on Reddit.
You're always saying that, by the way. You've
That's
always
me.
said that, yeah. And occasionally on Reddit.
The truth on Reddit? What are you talking about? Like, what is that even? I understand The Onion because you're like satire, you know, mirror, but what, Reddit?
Well, it's occasionally on Reddit.
Oh.
Like when you're deep in a thread and then somebody says something so profound.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to read this next one because
Okay.
it's so good.
Afterward, he asked excitedly, have you ever seen Rick and Morty? So vindicated for like my disdain for that show
I
from the
know.
get-go.
Especially with Justin Roiland. Okay,
Oh
so,
my
like,
God.
this is just another thing where, like, okay, the interviewer came in, asked him about the
Right.
tweet, he got mad, said, I tweeted on Ambien, picked up a book by The Onion,
Yeah.
started laughing hysterically, then asked if he's ever seen Rick and Morty.
Right. like he's unwell, he's manic, he's like he needs
It's like when you have to, like, babysit your 12-year-old nephew that you don't know.
when you're talking to a kid with ADHD and you're just kind of like, you know, you're dealing with it because they're a child and like
yeah.
if I was like talking to an adult like this,
Oh,
I would
dude.
I would be I would entertain them for like 5 to 10 minutes to be polite, and then I would try to get out of there
Try to
because
leave.
like I can't handle.
Unless you have to write an article about him.
Right.
So-
No, it's true. It's
And also his wife he divorced twice is there,
that's
which is just fun, I
blowing
think.
my mind.
I
yeah.
just think that's fun.
Why
'Kay.
she come back? Okay. And so after he says, "Have you ever seen Rick and Morty?" And the conversation bounces from the animated show to South Park to The Simpsons to the book Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Do not bring Hitchhiker's Guide into this.
Do not. Hey, that was
That's
a pretty
good
good
media.
book and movie, if I recall correctly.
Grandair's been reading the books to me. It's
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
Also, it's really interesting because they're kind of political. Not super political, but like a
lot
whole
of a lot of sci-fi has like a
an undertone.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, a big theme is that the president of the galaxy is like doesn't actually have any power and is just like a figurehead.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
Anyway, just a fun fact.
Yeah, hey, fun little facts for you. One of the lines from Hitchhikers, Musk says, ended up being Musk family rule. Number 1, don't panic. Okay.
Okay, so that's on the cover.
Okay.
I'm not even convinced he's read the book.
No, I was gonna say
he
it.
saw the
He
cover.
probably saw the cover.
He saw the kind of shitty movie.
He saw. Well, he like didn't even watch the movie. He watched like clips of the movie on
Watched
YouTube,
clips.
and he said, "Okay, I think I get the gist."
Don't
Okay.
panic.
The boys were quite skittish about all kinds of things. Riley explains.
I don't really know what she means here.
That's our other rule, Musk continues. Safety third. There's not even a rule number 2. But even though there's nothing in second place, safety is not getting promoted to number 2.
So don't panic. No rule number 2. Safety third. That's so cool.
That's insane.
That's so fun.
okay.
We're interrupted by Teller, Musk's chief of staff, who informs him that as we were talking, the Hawthorne City Council ended an hours-long debate with a 4-to-1 vote allowing Musk to burrow his tunnel 2 miles into the city. Good, Musk says. Now we can dig past our own property line. Dig like fiends. He laughs at the expression, and I understand now that Musk didn't have me over to talk about his projects and vision. There's nothing to be gained from talking about the problems of science with someone who doesn't understand them. Neil, you're giving him way too much credit.
Yeah, you are.
At the end of the day, he just wants to unwind and laugh about the world he's trying to improve. Okay, you ready? This is...
Yeah.
I leave his home, still hearing his chuckles in the doorway, and hoping that when the Mars colony builds its first statues of Musk, they're not of a stiff man with a tight-lipped expression looking out into space, but of a fuzzy bear. That's the ending! Neil! Okay, so the reveal that I've... It's been so hard not to talk to you about this. But do you know the author? Do you recognize the author?
I can't say that I know who they are.
Neil Strauss?
I mean, it's like a familiar name. Yeah. Yeah.
He wrote the game. He wrote the game.
What the fuck? That's amazing.
I know.
Oh my god.
I read it. I read the whole book.
Oh my god. Did
And-
you buy that?
I thrifted it.
Okay, that's
I got it
good.
from
I was about to get mad again.
thriftbooks.com. Anyway, we can dive into this another time. I just
my
like
god.
I've been waiting.
That's incredible. You did a good job holding that in.
Yeah, it's been hard because I was reading it. I read it in like just a few days. Like it's actually a very entertaining book. But
It's full of wisdom.
but I just because after we recorded the first episode, I was like,
Yeah.
I should have looked up the author.
Right.
And then I look up Neil Strauss, and
That's-
it's like the game.
That's
The
so
guy
funny.
who wrote the game.
Oh my god. Right. And it's like I should know that. I've like
I
consumed
should too.
a lot of content about the game.
Yeah,
The book, you know,
like
it's like
the If Books Could Kill
Yeah.
episode's really good.
but I just everything blurs together in my mind, I guess. I don't know.
No, it does.
That's fucking actually so interesting too, because it's like this article was entertaining.
No, it was. And
But it's also trying to sell you on an idea that ultimately is bringing deep harm to the world. So
it's kind of I think in a way he's the perfect writer for it because I was reading the game and you know he's still a reporter while he's like penetrating the secret society of pickup artists. So at one point he interviews Tom Cruise and the way that he writes about Tom Cruise is very similar. Where he's like ultimately revering him, but then the way he describes his behavior makes Tom Cruise look so like weird.
right, and he is a freak.
And he is a freak, so I'm like, maybe this guy's just the right person to interview freaks.
Right, like they feel very comfortable around
They feel
him.
comfortable around a fellow freak.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, I could see that. Wow,
Yeah. So
that is so interesting. I wonder how many people out there like just casually like read this and then did like change their opinion on him. Like they were like, oh,
Right.
ew. Like I actually don't think I like. You know, like
I was trying so hard to find like forums and comments about this when
Right.
it came out. And like Reddit loved it.
right.
Reddit loves you.
Okay.
They were like, he gave us a shout out.
Right, shout out
He
to
shou- he
the
shout
Reddit
out
heads.
Reddit. The true geniuses on Reddit.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to us Rick and Morty fans.
I did find some. I've never heard of this before, but it was some investing forum, and they hate him. They hated him back then
Oh.
because they were, and I guess they were right. We're seeing now they're like Tesla's stock is overvalued.
Oh, interesting.
He never delivers on anything he says he will. And then this article came out, and they were like, "This is cringe."
yeah.
So the fucking precursor to Wall Street bets probably
yeah.
didn't like him, but generally it was well received. There were a ton of articles about it that were literally just like short pieces to link to the article to like promote it. There weren't a lot of opinion pieces on it. So I don't know, man.
Interesting.
This article sent me spiraling because I read all of the game.
Right.
And then he has I ordered 2 more of his books because after this he wrote the rules of the game.
Oh.
Which is because this isn't actually like a how-to guide.
Right.
It's like a story.
Okay.
So then the rules of the game are supposed to be the how-to guide. And then after that he wrote a book called The Truth, which is supposed to be him kind of trying to distance himself from
Okay,
like
you said-
pickup artists.
He said, "Oh, that's really embarrassing."
So for everything he is a good writer.
Okay.
Like I like the way
Yeah.
he writes. And I'm just in the
Now
hole goes deeper and deeper.
Now you're in the universe.
I'm in the game universe.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
we did it. So anyway,
we did it, Reddit.
now I can send you all the pictures of lines that I wanted to send you.
God,
There's some
that must have been
insane.
hard.
It was really hard. I think it was worth it though. For
No,
the
I think
reaction.
so. That was a
Yeah,
great.
that was
The fact that
really-
I didn't at any point.
I was so
realize that.
scared you were gonna like realize it or look him up or
Hey,
something.
the good thing for you, I'm stupid.
Because even the Behind the Bastards episode that talked about this, they talked about like the game and stuff. So I'm like, Susie, don't listen to that.
No, I actually did do it. I very deliberately was like, I'm just gonna like not even come close to looking at anything related to that article. So
Hell yeah. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
the article that has been I don't know why I'm obsessed with it. I think part of it's escapism. I want to
Yeah.
be back in a different time.
Take me back to 2017.
Yeah, or even 2005 when pickup artists were like gross but not what they are now.
Yeah.
You know?
What was might have been Matt Bernstein's podcast, or maybe it was If Books Could Kill, where they were
Mhm.
talking about how that era of like misogyny is you kind of miss it.
Oh yeah, that was If Books Could Kill.
Okay, yeah, where it's like it's just because now it's so violent and evil and
It's
awful.
so violent and so online. Like these
Yes,
guys, at least
yes.
they're out in
Yes, no, at
public,
least the
like
boys are
talking
going to the
people.
bars with their fedoras and their magic tricks or whatever.
And it's like, you know, they're gross a
Yeah.
lot of the time. But
Yeah.
and I think Neil highlights this really well in the book. Like it becomes very clear that this is a community for men to bond with men.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with women.
Yeah.
He even points out, he's like, this community is all about women, but there are no women
Right.
present ever.
Right.
And so it's like, you know, hey, at least they were like in real life bonding and
Yeah.
talking to people and going out and trying to improve themselves.
Right.
It's like, it's not great, but compared to
But compared to
like
what's happening, yeah.
incel school shooters, like
I
I'll
mean,
take it.
Yeah, I hate to say it. We need to get off the internet.
We
need
do.
to get off the internet.
We need to go sarging in clubs.
Oh
That's
my
what they call it.
God. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm so excited to
I'm
talk
so-
to you about this.
Wait, I'm excited for us to get through the game. You tell me all about it, and then we go to the club and we use.
and we sarge.
We
I was
sarge.
like, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it'll be very different being like a small woman. Like, I don't think people will be resistant to talking to me
Yeah, that's true.
the way that they would be like a man doing magic tricks and wearing
Right.
a top.
Right. But you know, a small woman in a top hat trying to do magic
That's true, 'cause we have to
tricks.
peacock,
Right. Yeah.
right? Which is
Yeah.
where you wear crazy clothes,
Crazy things.
so you have something to talk about.
Well, and I say we do something that those boys were too afraid to do. We try on every gender imaginable.
yeah, all of
Right?
them.
Like every, no limits.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I don't want this episode to go on forever. This book is so wild because it isn't really pro pickup artist either.
Okay.
He
Alright.
clearly sells out and writes the rules of the game, and there's a lot of cringy, gross shit in there where he's like clearly bragging.
Okay.
But like at the end of the book, like everything's falling apart. He's like,
Right.
you know, these dudes are like losers. They're starting to get more resentful of women.
Okay.
Like you're
Okay.
seeing these things develop, and I'm just, it's weird to me that people ever saw it as like a
As
guide.
something, yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just apparently how the public takes in things, right?
Yeah.
We just read an article that showed how pathetic and stupid one of the richest men in the world was, and they still were like, no, Tesla's awesome, and he's gonna actually, Elon's like probably gonna save the world.
That is so apt, actually. Because, like, I'm reading this book a certain way, but I felt
Right.
like he was pretty, like, obvious and clear that
Right.
the message of this book was that it's not great.
Right.
It doesn't help people. It's, like, he's got, like, feminist quotes in between every chapter. I'm like, who are you, Neil? Who is this?
Neil.
And he'll say, like, something really insightful about how, like, it's hard to pick up women because, you know, sex is one of the only places in society where they have power, and as
Okay,
soon as
yeah.
they enter a relationship with a man, they don't have power anymore.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's woke. And then he's like, the next page is bragging about banging a 19-year-old, and I'm like, what?
Neil.
That you just put a Jenny Holzer quote in here, and now,
Oh
like,
my
what is
God.
this book?
Yeah.
I cannot.
That's crazy.
It made me insane.
Yeah.
And I liked it, like, entertainment wise. It was very entertaining.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. That's fascinating.
Anyway, yeah. So that's that. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I
It's been a
feel
delight.
like
It's been a delight.
I've been so obsessed with this article and then like the game, and everyone I try to talk to like is not interested.
That's the worst feeling in the world.
And I kind of get it. It is like irrelevant history now in a way.
I don't know. I mean, when If Books Could Kill came out, their episode on, I was chomping
Yeah,
at the
it
bit.
was
I was
great.
so excited.
And I really liked their takes on it, so definitely listen to that, because they were
Yeah.
like, you know, it makes some people need a little help talking to people,
yeah.
and that's normal, but they always take it like 20 steps too far. Like it can never be like, get a haircut, like
Yeah.
have some icebreaker questions.
Sure. Yeah.
Look people in the eye, and then they're like, like go behind her and sniff her hair, and then like act like she's crazy for no. It's like it's just like they're so close to being normal.
So close.
It's so close to being a wholesome community.
Yeah, I know, literally. Oh my god.
Anyway, I'll probably talk about it more next
Yeah.
time because I'm gonna read the rules of the game.
You're gonna figure out the rules.
and then see him backtrack in the truth.
This is actually taking it back.
So
Cool.
anyway,
Yeah.
so that's Elon Musk, The Architect of Tomorrow by Neil Strauss in Rolling Stone, published November 2017. And if only we could go back
If only.
and warn people that this article is prophesying the future, but not in the way you think.
Not in a good way. In the worst way imaginable. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, that's that.
I'm gonna say we wrap it up.
We wrap it, and I think it's your turn to get obsessed with something and tell me about it.
Yeah,
so
no, I'll try.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a neg, but I don't neg people, so I don't know.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, you listened to this whole thing?
This has been a Brendan Sauer production.